All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Rakugo, Season 2, Episode 4. All right, we got to hear Kanatsu's father's Rakugo.
Well, and we also got to hear quite the rant to the Yakuza boss.
Sorry, Kanatsu's kids.
Right.
Father's Rakugo.
Yeah. Well, she also got to hear her father's Rakugo.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
But, yeah. So that was a lot of stuff that happened last episode.
It was so much stuff that in some ways, some of the quieter moments can end up probably easily being something where we go, oh, right, that happened too.
Yeah.
And Yakumo giving a full-on rendition, Sukeroku style even, of a specific piece of Rakugo that he really liked. Led our boy Yotaro to tears. It was so good.
Yep.
And the idea that that's something that's being passed on, but also something that's under the context of trying to give our boy who's taken on the Sukeroku name, taking and, rebirthing Sukeroku's Rakugo, but it being, coming from someone that imitates it rather than actually presenting it in a way that is their own.
Yeah, he's still got to figure that out.
Well, yeah, he's still got to figure it out, but there's a bit of bitter irony in there that Yakumo is trying to teach Yotaro to find his own Rakugo when Yakumo is mimicking someone else's Rakugo to the point where it's exactly Sukeroku, and it's not even Yakumo's own Rakugo. As if because he admitted, I never really got this one down.
Yep, that's probably why it was so exhausting for him to do.
Right, yeah. But then he's asking his student to do something that the master could never do. I find that to be very, very interesting in terms of just it's another example of him trying to push Yotaro to be better than the Sukeroku of the past even could be, and in some ways even better than he could.
Right, which is the ultimate goal of the teacher.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, y'all, there's a lot of drama going on here, but we've got some really wholesome stuff that has been coming from this as well, given that Yotaro and Kanatsu have been getting a lot closer. So,
yes.
Looking forward to more of that on both fronts. So, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion.
Jugemu,
all right, that was so much fun. That was great. So much fun. I had wonderful. No idea that the Jugemu was also like a kid's, like a little song from Japan. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna learn it, and it's gonna be fun. But overall, what a wholesome episode! What a happy episode!
Oh,
we time skipped ahead past a lot of the drama. Showcase now that the kid is. Is older.
He's in kindergarten.
Yeah, he's like 5 now. So, yeah, wow. And the exciting thing from that is that you can see that he's being raised in a healthy, wholesome, loving family unit where he's healthy. It's wonderful.
He's almost it's almost in a bit too healthy of a situation where he's getting spoiled a bit, He works
little bit.
He works that little charm, that little smile, and gets pretty much whatever he wants. He's got them all
wrapped around his finger.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Although I love that we've gotten to this place where Kanatsu can smile so often.
Yes.
They very much drove it home over and over again in this episode.
It was appreciated.
That she is smiling. She is happy. This is her life the way she wants it to be.
Yep.
She separated herself from a lot of those connections that she was drawing in her mind from her, between her and Miyokichi. She's no longer working at the restaurant.
Yep.
She's working in the theater, the place she wants to be. She's so close to the stage, and yet she's, still not doing exactly what she really wants.
Now, when she was playing the shamisen and she was a bit she seemed a bit peeved, there's a part of me that wonders if that was because she sees that as being a potential connection to her mother, Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that was just something where like she's sort of like putting on the front of like, okay, I'm happy, but like I'm not gonna let you see it, kind of a thing.
She said that she was concentrating. That's what she said.
Yes, that is true.
She was like, oh, I'm concentrating.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is really hard. And I think that was the point of just saying that this is something she's still new to.
Sure.
And being not just new to doing, because she's done it for a few years now, but new to doing it in the professional level. Like,
and given that she did it in such a short amount of time, in addition to being impressive, that also means that she's dedicated to it.
Because she's passionate about the whole experience. Right. This is something that she did always dream about doing. Mm-hmm. That makes it something where she heard it for much of her life. She understands kind of how it should work or sound.
Yeah, because that seems like it's the way that she's like, okay, this is the socially acceptable way that I can be close to Rakugo and be a part of theater and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not actually doing the main performance myself.
And she gets to listen to plenty of Rakugo.
Oh, yeah.
It's just right there.
But, oh, man.
It's that proximity aspect, I think,
Oh, man.
Well.
I was a bit worried when Sukuroku went to go push her out there, because I was like, well, hold on, because since there's been this time skip, I don't know how aware he is of whether this is a good idea or not. Right. Because something like that could go very badly. Mm-hmm. But no, it went wonderfully. It went wonderfully. It went so good. Awesome. It was just like, my heart was so warm watching that happen. One of the things that I love about Rakugo's style of storytelling, and this is the kind of thing that like oftentimes I try and think of things like, okay, how would this work in like a written form, you know? But this really is suited so well to a visual medium. And I feel like especially anime, because they can do these little time skips and not have it be jarring and very quickly establish where we're at, but then also why we're showing this specifically, right? Mm-hmm. Because like, okay, previous episode, right? Shoot out the Yakuza boss. That definitely seems like something that would be an important moment in one's life. In the family's life, right? Right. And then here, it's like, okay, if it had been something that went badly, that would have sucked. Right. But that wouldn't have been like something where it's like, do we need... Because I'm sure there would be all kinds of little bumps and hiccups along the way and stuff, but we don't necessarily need to see that. But seeing something like this... Where it's just so warm and wonderful. And then the fact that she's doing this in front of her kid, and it just... Yeah. It's so heavy. And then just the icing on the cake is the fact that it's the Jugemu. Like, I can't believe it took me that long to figure it out. Well, I figured it out like rather quickly, and I was just like, but I didn't want to like bring it up because in some ways I thought that what might have been a thing as far as the Fullmetal Alchemist bloopers thing was that was like a disrespectful, like kind of mocking form of it. Oh, gotcha. And this was like the respectful actual way to do it. Yeah. Whereas, so I was like, I don't want to say anything just in case, but then I'm like listening back and I'm like, same gag. No, it's the exact same thing. Right. So the fact that they did that for Fullmetal Alchemist is just so perfect because it's literally they're setting up that joke of you. In this super serious moment, what's your name? Jugemu Goku no Suriken Kaijari Suigyo no Sugyo Matsu no Urumatsu Funrai Matsu Kunara Tokaro no Sumi no Tokaro no Yabura Koji no Bura Koji no Paipo no Shurigan no Gurundai no Pomo Komigo Pomo Kapagi no Tumani Kurio no Chosuke. I'm also Jugemu Goku no Goku Sugaraga. We've got the whole like list right in front of us here. Okay, I'm gonna do it a bit slower. Jugemu. Wait, let's do it like the song. Jugemu, Goku no Surikire, Kaijari Sugyo, no Sugyo Matsu, Urai Matsu, Furai Matsu, Kunera Tokoro, no Susimondo Tokoro. Now that part, it's dun da da dun da da dun. Kunero Tokoro Nisumo Tokoro. Yeah. You basically... Kunero Tokoro Nisumo Tokoro. Right, you got it. Koji no Burakuji. Paipo. Or wait, no. Paipo no Shuringan no Gurindai no Ponpoku no. Now this is one's weird.
Pon Poco Pino. Pon Poco Pino.
That's a tongue twister.
Pon Poco Pino. Pon Poco Nano.
Gurindai Pon Poco Pino.
Pon Poco Nano. Chokyume no Chosuke.
Oh my god.
Now do that in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I love the joke of the, wait, he doesn't have, there's no welt on his head. Oh, yeah, it went away by the time the name was finished. Like,
Rakugo was a kid's
great.
version of apparently a classic, though, that was changed because it had a little bit of a violent end. And this was something that was rather interesting. Hisan was framed at this part in the story as a bit antagonistic.
Right.
They gave him like a little bit of a facelift in different ways.
Right.
He was no longer kind of the scruffy, like kind of tired, creative looking type. He looked more put together with like jagged teeth.
Yeah.
And like a sly look in his eye.
Well, so
and it's like, has he learned new things since then where he's like, I'm going in a little bit like zeroing in on the target here.
Well, this is okay, so there are a few things that come to mind right here, some rather scary, some less so. So, in the situation, is he this way just because he's this way around Yakumo, or is this how he's changed in the years that have happened? Because we don't necessarily know. Since we haven't really seen him interact with the others, we kind of have in that he interacted with the kid, but we haven't seen him, say, interact with Sukuroku or Gyotaro, right? Because he was always very amiable with him, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and what he's going after seems to be fairly a good thing, an innocent thing, right? And that it's actually Yakumo that's being the stick in the mud and wanting Rakugo to die. It's like, no, okay, yeah, that can be fine for you, but, you know, we want to keep this thing going, right?
Yeah, who are you to say that Rakugo should live in that? Well, I guess you are the 8th generation Yakumo.
Right.
But still.
And so the other thing, one of the things that I've been kind of wondering is where does the Sukuroku coming full circle come in from the first part? Because in the first part, we could see the problems that were there, and we could see that they weren't being addressed and that they were slowly getting worse, and thereby, you know, Greek tragedy, something bad's going to happen, right? The thing is that we don't have that with this second season. Now, this could be because this is where it all goes well, but given that there's, I'm guessing, going to be some pretty intense conflict at some point so that we can actually have that cathartic victory when it does go well, where's the bacon? Like what's
had some recently.
We did have some recently.
We
had stuff with the Yakuza boss. We also had a lot of stuff this episode, I would say. The closest parallel that I've seen thus far, originally I thought it was going to be with Yotaro, but he's actually been doing amazingly, right? So I would say he's not to be worried about.
Right.
The closest thing I would say that we've had...
Kimetsu and Yakumo?
No.
Oh.
No. The kid. With Sukuroku, how he started in the first season,
right,
the issues that he had were very trivial issues, seemingly, right? They didn't really cause trouble for anybody.
In the beginning.
Right. But it was something that wasn't addressed, wasn't fixed, because it's just a little thing, and then it becomes a big thing.
Right.
In this episode, we had the kid being spoiled, right? And that was the first thing that was introduced this episode. Yeah, and the earlier it is, the more important it is.
You're right.
So, that's a thing. On top of that, they showed a connection to Hisan, which is fine. That's totally fine. But they also showed Hisan being antagonistic a bit more so than usual, and we saw him get a picture of Yakumo, except...
it was also with the kid.
It was also with the kid.
Yeah.
And in the previous episode, we had the, you don't have any part in this child's life kind of a thing. I would not at all be surprised if maybe as a result of Hisan trying to get more leverage in this world, right, he needs some connections maybe. And the Yakuza also are, there are legit sides to the Yakuza that are very powerful. So I would not at all be surprised if he was getting help from them. And, one of the things that he just needed to do is get me a picture of the kid, of my son, right?
That does seem like something, though, that would contradict what happened with the boss in that previous episode.
Yes, right. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would work.
What I think it ties back to is actually the fact that when Hisan was introduced to Yakumo for the first time, he had a fascination of sorts with the past. Like there was this fixation that Hisan had on. Yeah, and he mentioned names like Miyokichi, and he was like, "How the hell do you know that name?"
Right.
Like, like Yakumo seemed actually like nervous and scared, like the idea that he's like, "Hey, like you don't do that." And I think what might actually be happening here, and this is my crazy tinfoil hat theory, is this is something that would be rather cool. Is that there's a lot of time that happened in between. Kind of telling the story and what ends up happening in like the beginning of the first episode of the first season. You know, there's a bunch of time. There's like that 10-year period where Yotaro is learning Rakugo and doing all this stuff and things like that. And then there's also the time of Yakumo just growing up. My thought is that there's more stuff that we have yet to learn regarding the past. And Hisan's thing is he wants to make more Rakugo, right?
Yeah.
What if he's looking at this story, and that's the meta part of it? He's going to draw literal inspiration from the things in these events and tell the story.
Right, and it ends up
Rakugo
being the show is the new Rakugo.
Is a new Rakugo classic. Get it? Yeah, It's
It
all
okay. I would love for that.
You love that idea?
I love that idea.
Yeah.
The other thing that really chilled me this episode is they always make it so that the Rakugo is relevant, foreshadowing, etc.
Right.
Well, how is that foreshadowing? There's nothing there. Except for what Hisan said. Hisan said that originally Jugemu ended with the child drowning while people were saying his name. And then he takes a picture of the sleeping kid, and he's been shown that he has a connection with the kid and that the kid trusts him enough to that's because hold me up while I'm in the theater.
Right. Well, I think that was just because he happened to be there at the time, and it was that he always is watching the Rakugo. And the kid is the child of everyone at the theater, so anyone would have done it.
Totally. Yeah. But given that he was being antagonistic towards Yakumo, and that the kids there,
Yakumo is not necessarily the most likable person.
Definitely not.
Though,
definitely not. And the thing is, normally I wouldn't be really worried about that. But the fact that Yakumo, straight up rejected this dude when he was, a young kid, right, makes me just the slightest bit worried, even though I don't think it'll go there. I hope it doesn't go there. That he harbors some bitterness and resentment towards him, and that potentially the way that he could get back at Yakumo is through this kid.
I think that the ultimate way he'll get back at Yakumo is he'll change Rakugo. And that's literally what he said he wanted to do.
Right.
He's like, Yakumo, Rakugo can't just stay like this forever. It needs to grow. And he's like freaking out because he's like, this is Sukeroku's words coming to haunt me from the grave again. God, let me get out of here. I don't like this. This is uncomfortable. And if we remember that Yakumo's main kind of character core thing when he's older is his guilt. Like he feels riddled with guilt. Anytime the guilt comes up and we see someone being antagonistic towards that guilt, that does not necessarily mean that character is bad.
Exactly.
It means that Yakumo is being forced to confront and address things that he doesn't like. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right, because this could be Hisan being that way towards Yakumo, but it could also be just how Yakumo sees Hisan, and that's why whenever he gives him, when he gives him the new Rakugo piece, he tears it up, right? Because even though the guy is maybe being perfectly amiable, he sees him as just the sharp-toothed, guy that's, coming in to haunt him.
I do see that there is some antagonism from the standpoint that he kind of used the kid to get what he wanted out of this here. And that is a part that I'm... I'm like, oh, Hisan, you definitely are a little bit antagonistic in this episode here.
He's at the very least a schemer.
Yeah, Yakumo, though, they framed him in a little bit of a way so it'll be a little bit grayer in the earlier parts of the episode when he's chastising Konatsu for, this whole situation that he finds them in the green room when they're laughing at how he like starts to do Jugemu, and they're like, oh my god, it's so cute. And then he's like, why is there the prattling of women and children in here? Yeah. And it's like, god damn, Yakumo, like get off your ass. Like,
well, in the fact that the fact that he specifically calls out Konatsu on it, not Tsukuroku.
Not Yotaro, Tsukuroku, or literally anyone else.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And there's a part of me that wonders.
And he said, if you're going to keep doing this, you should quit this line of work. Right.
It's like, it's like, geez, maybe you should quit this line of work.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, do you own the theater? I'm pretty sure you don't.
Right. Like, so, and the thing is that in the first part, right, in the first season, there was a ton of it that was Tsukuroku's problems, right?
Right.
There was also a bunch of it that was Yakumo's problems, right? Yeah. So, if they end up doing something similar where it's that he's still got all those problems, right?
Right.
He thinks he's past them, but he's not. You know, he thinks he's grown from them, but he hasn't, right? You know, he's just a calcified, remains that perfectly represents how he was back then, but, rotted and older and all that stuff, right? God. These things that he does make it so I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen. So there's the stuff that happens with Konatsu and Yotaro, but then if something like that were to happen as well with Hisan, because Konatsu will put up with this kind of stuff to a degree, right? But other people don't, So I don't know.
My main fear doesn't really come from Hisan. It comes from Yakumo, and that he kind of wants to die. And the fact that, we know that Konatsu promised to kill him at some point. That's something that, while we're seeing Konatsu smiling and everything here, it is kind of because she's out from underneath the thumb of Yakumo.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But anytime he comes back, she shifts immediately back into that state. So I have to wonder whether or not Yakumo is the kind of person to actually become somewhat antagonistic intentionally. So he's
in a real sense,
not in a real sense,
because this is still
just as
a
sense,
but
just as a come on, can we get this over with already? I'm so tired of all of this. The guy is living just a life of pain right now. He has very little positive influences in his life that he's actually receiving. Yeah. In fact, in some ways, the kid is probably the best example of that, in that he wants to have his Rakugo constantly be given to this kid, and Konatsu wants, his Rakugo to be shared with this kid, it's something that she's I want to make sure that you actually are a part of his life growing up. And that was part of what stopped this whole vengeance thing in some ways from happening. That was I think addressed 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. For such a happy episode though,
ominous foreshadowing.
It had a lot of ominous stuff going on there, but I loved
it. Was so great.
I loved it so much.
All right, once more to end this off. Okay,
so let's try and go with the
cadence.
I'm gonna kind of orchestrally pull this off here. Try to Jugemu. No. Jugemu. No. It's dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jugemu.
Goku no
Surikire. Surikire, yeah.
Surikire.
Kaijaru Sugyo no Sugyo Matsu. Urai Matsu. Furai Matsu. Kuneru Tokoro Nusumo Tokoro. That's the part where it goes dun 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 dun. It's a little bit faster. Kuneru Tokoro Nusumo Tokoro. Yaburo Koji no Bura Koji. Paipo. No, that part's really sad. Paipo no Shuringan. Shuringan no Gurindai. Gurindai no Ponpoko noni. Ponpoko Pino. Ponpoko Pano. Shokyomas no Shochosuke. Oh my god.
Ponpoko Pino. Ponpoko Nano.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's just such a tongue
twister. The fact
twister.
that those kids The fact that those kids now granted
and kept it in time.
They kept it in time, and they probably did this all the time. And the timing that was being kept was probably much better than what we're able to remember from the episode. Right. But
it's their baby shark do baby shark do.
Baby shark.
Never mind. I'm not gonna curse you with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But that's really fun. And now that
one of these
have
days
this,
we're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it, and we're gonna get it fast.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna like ASMR into the microphone.
Oh, definitely. Yep. We're just gonna reenact the FMAB omake. Yeah.
I think I did pretty good there, actually.
So the real question is, when we end up reenacting the FMAB omake, will you be Wrath or will you be Scar?
I'm Wrath because I'm already practicing my Wrath voice with Sengoku from One Piece.
Oh, right. Said Sengoku, and I thought of a different character.
Right, we're jumping all kinds of multiverses here.
Okay, but that was a great episode.
Hopefully
the happiness continues. I'm worried, but this episode was really happy. So
what we know now is that time skips lead to emotional highs potentially.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion and listening to our rendition of Jugemu. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. I wrote a sci-fi novel, in case you haven't heard. It's called Battle Lines. It's really cool, and it's on Amazon. Link in the description down below. It's in both hardback and ebook. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.